Welcome back to Green and Gold Gaming. We're here for our final, for now, character spotlight. Rilyanasse, the Elven Ranger. I am Renegade Paladin, the narrator.
I'm Bosheck, the DM.
And I play Rilyanasse.
Rilyanasse. I'm sorry. I've been mispronouncing it this entire time. I will fix that going forward. So, Rilyanasse is a, speaking of butchered by the tongues of men, Jesus.
Guilty as charged.
Yes, guilty as charged. So, Rilyanasse is a Divine Hunter Ranger with the Elven Ranger substitution levels from D&D 3.5, and with a 1-level dip in Oracle. So we open that up, and you can read on the screen there what Divine Hunter does. Leah, do you want to go into like your thoughts behind why you built Rilyanasse this way?
It's okay, just call her Ril. That's what she goes by, and that's probably a big part of the confusion. Anyway, your character would know her more by her childhood name. She took a very long time to change.
Oh, I know, but Torindil is... I've been consciously not calling her Lalatiel because out of, I figured it would be a disrespectful thing to do.
Oh, well. For her, it'd be more like, I'm not even going to tell him if he mispronounces my adult name, because I only took it because my mom stopped calling me by my name. So, yeah. I am going to note right here, this is very good evidence of I usually don't care that much about the build. I make up a ridiculous story, and then our DM, who I happen to know very well, likes to show me his build experiments and be like, hey, does this fit your story? And I'm usually like, I get away with my story stuff. I'm cool with this.
Yeah, so, Bo, do you want to go into
sure.
that?
So, Ril's player likes to play Charisma Casters, which a Ranger is not. But an Oracle is, and there are some Rangery prestige classes that kind of fit that also work for one of that player, Ril's player, Leah, her favorite thing in the realms, which is Harpers. So, Rilyanasse is, as you're going to find out, a Harper. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious from the adventures. It's kind of an unspoken secret, if you will, as it's supposed to be among her allies. So the level of Oracle gives her ties to Sehanine Moonbow, who her player was interested in, and her level of Ranger with the Ranger substitution level gives her some extra skill points, which her player also really wanted, and a focus more on Orcs. We'll talk about why Ril hates Orcs a little bit later.
Yeah, so going over to the attributes tab, as you might expect from an archer ranger, dexterity is the highest stat, followed closely by charisma for the oracle casting.
Also, because I love bards, but I wanted to not just play bards, so it kind of plays into the getting to do a little bit of face stuff without actually just playing the same class all the time.
That is completely fair. As someone who does not play the same class all of, I'm a notorious paladin player, but really, I've only played like over 20 years of playing 2 paladin characters. But that's me. We're here to talk about Ril. So high dexterity and charisma, and a fairly balanced stat array other than that, and you may notice, go back to the summary tab, her land speed is 20 feet. Your Oracle Curse is lameness, right?
Correct.
Okay, so Oracles in Pathfinder have to have a selection of curses they have to choose from at first level, and like lame is possibly the least obnoxious one.
There are varying degrees of Oracle curses, from minor drawback to crippling your character. And yeah, lame gets you a permanent reduction in move speed, but you get what is essentially the dwarves' encumbrance rules, so you don't get your speed reduced whenever you're carrying things, and you gradually become immune to fatigue.
I actually went with that one because I wanted to do the archer thing, and I was like, a slow character will be minimally impacted by this, but it'll still be impacted. It's not just getting away with something.
Yeah, Rill wouldn't work with the Clouded Vision one for starters.
Oh, absolutely not. I have played a Clouded Vision character before, and let me tell you, it is not a good time. It's like, excuse me, there is no world beyond, 30 feet, 60 feet?
Yep.
Something like that.
30 and eventually
30 feet.
60.
It was a long time ago.
It eventually it's a little bigger, but not much. And especially on the VTT where you're enforcing those vision rules, we have a lot of bigger maps here.
Yeah, so
that helps the archer, who is able to ply her trade in combat pretty effectively while she's with the party. There are many, many arrows shot at many, many foes.
So speaking of combat,
yep.
Looking at her combat tab, of course, her primary weapon is her elven craft longbow, and
you gotta have that.
Yeah, the Sword of the Dales comes in later. Comes in much later on in the adventure. This is Rill at 5th level, and again, we wrapped up the first season going from the transition between levels 2 and 3.
Yep. Can you tell me why you chose an elven craft bow?
Because if someone gets in your face, you can knock them over the head with it. The special thing about the elven craft longbow and shortbow is that they will double as, in the case of the longbow, a quarterstaff basically. In the case of the shortbow, a club.
So it keeps you always armed and threatening next to you.
Exactly. You get to thump anyone who gets too close.
And hence the Elvencraft Mighty Composite Longbow melee option up there. So, inventory, the usual golf bag of weapons. Not all of these even have attacks created.
No, some of those are definitely trophies taken from opponents, or weapons that have other useful abilities that are used more when they're not wielded.
Yeah, so Rill's a bit of a clothes horse, as you can see it from the equipment. Courtesan's outfit, entertainer. Well, the courtesan's outfit was. You'll find out in the next season. But
there are absolutely things this character keeps because she will make them come up for comedy for herself.
Yep. Let's see, consumables, the usual array of potions that an adventurer carries, but down in ammunition, the arrows. Oh my God, the arrows! Arrows. Her golf bag is in her. Does she have an Alona's?
Yeah, she's got a quiver.
Yeah, of her extra dimensional quiver. So
correct. So, worth noting as the DM, quivers don't function in this version of Foundry the way you would expect them to. So, Rilnasse's ammunition is carried, and it's not in the quiver where it is actually assumed to be in the quiver.
Yeah, because if you put it in a container, the bow attack won't find it, right?
Yeah, that is exactly the problem.
Yeah, but that's all, but that's basically it for inventory. Features, the Elven Ranger substitution level, elf-favored enemy. This is the big one.
Why do you hate orcs?
Yeah.
Do you actually want me to answer that?
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So, the reason Rill is an oracle relates to why she hates orcs. Background story stuff. I will keep it a short version because I am one of those terrible people who creates the horrible background story first. But background story-wise, she had gotten caught by a group of orcs while gathering herbs on an assignment from her mom. And they basically treed her and pinned her to the tree with a spear. And then her dad had come to rescue her, and he horribly killed him in front of her while she was basically trapped in the tree, pinned there with a spear.
And then the orcs left her for dead, as I recall.
Oh yes, and did not leave much of her father behind, to put it unpleasantly.
Yeah, so she has an excellent reason for extra anti-orc. I'm surprised I didn't see orc bane arrows back there, but then again those are rather expensive.
Yes, that's 100% the reason she doesn't have them.
Rilyanasse has a number of premium magic items, but among them is not orc bane arrows, sadly.
Yeah, perhaps later. So, and as you can tell from her character art, her animal companion is a giant owl, which is there's a complicated workaround to get an animal companion through Oracle and a bit of GM fiat to allow it to be an owl, right?
Well, the animal companion part isn't that hard. It's just one of the flavors you can make your oracle, basically, if you follow the right kind of god. Oracles are super customizable, but they're a little weak on the casting to balance it out, I think.
No, they're great on cast. But your oracle's mystery will sometimes grant you access to a animal companion. And I believe you had the lunar mystery?
Yes.
Yeah, the lunar mystery, for some reason, has a bunch of nocturnal animals you can take as an animal companion, but owl is not one of them.
Yeah.
I believe that conversation went, ooh, how about owl? Oh, it's not on list. And then our lovely DM here was like, well, I could make that happen. It seems pretty fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having the owl be on the the lunar oracle animal companion list is probably fine. It's not entirely outrageous or out of line.
No.
Elim was definitely not a power move. Elim was a, ooh, owls! Owls are neat!
Yeah. That being said, the owl is a bit of a badass. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
No, it's perfectly fine. And owls are sacred to some of the moon deities in Forgotten Realms as well. You should always be willing to look at the rules as a DM and say, does this make sense?
Yeah, so for feats, the usual, it's a full archery build. It's a full archery build with Boon Companion in there so that the owl keeps up in levels.
Correct.
And traits, Harper, as we already discussed, is her campaign trait, and Magical Knack for the other one.
Correct. Magical Knack keeps you up with your casting, so you don't lose a whole lot of Oracle levels, compared to taking a few Ranger levels before you make your way into whatever prestige class you're working for. And your prestige class, your Ranger gives you a number of bonus feats to feed that in there.
Yeah, so, and we've also, with Turindil and Mossel, we covered the class boons. So we scroll down here to miscellaneous and look under Ranger boons. And her get to 6 are Isilme's Woodcraft, Songs of Lindelian, and those are the names of her parents, and Lilatiel's Path.
Lilatiel being her childhood name.
Yes. And as is with the other characters, the intermediate one is a resource regeneration. Although in her case, it recharges charged or limited use magical items.
Correct. So that's very on flavor for Harpers. You're going to have, as you see there, access to Harper caches, allies in the wild, the boon of the various good gods who kind of aid the Harpers in their misdeeds.
Yeah, so moving on to skills. I'm sorry, I haven't actually. I'm doing this live. I didn't go through a character sheet first. So
Sure.
Maximum ranks in diplomacy, and then
This is very much Leah's skill distribution. Once I kind of as the DM and as her husband, built out her character and said, hey, these are the classes you take to do the thing you want to be able to do. I just kind of let her loose on it. So you're going to see one rank here, one rank there, and that's something that she likes to do.
I mean, I did the same thing with Torindil. Like, the system rewards specialization, but we use the background skill system for a reason, so we can spread out a little.
Also, flavor.
Yes. Let's see, 4 ranks in heal. What the funny part is that this Torindil has 1 rank in heal, and they have the same in modifier because it's a wisdom-based skill, and she's a charisma caster, and he's a wisdom caster. But
I actually went that high on it for her because she's curious about it. And also, the way that lame is phrased is that you have a wound that never completely heals. So I kind of saw it as something that it made character sense that she might have studied a little more into to try to understand what happened to herself.
Indeed. So, max ranks in diplomacy, max ranks again in stealth. How is... Oh, armor check penalty, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
I think she's currently in a heavy load, and she shouldn't be.
She is, yeah.
It's just barely in a heavy load, and some of that shouldn't be carried because of the way the ammunition is. So,
yeah. Alright, and background skills, again, spread around. 3 ranks in handle animal, as you might expect with an animal companion ranger. Knowledge history, knowledge nobility, 2 ranks in linguistics, and 3 different perform skills. Again, Harper.
Rill is supposed to have been the daughter of a bard and a ranger, and she was supposed to have been very interested in both parents' skill sets, so I wanted her ranks to reflect that.
It comes through. So, spells, it's only the one level, it's only first level oracle casting, so Cure Light Wounds, Divine Favor, and Remove Fear, and a couple of non-core options here. Aspects of the
She
night.
may have paid some money for something that comes up later because she had goals. Goals!
Yes. Well, we have not reached those goals yet, but it's coming.
yep, those are both charisma boosting skills, which again play into Rill's player's desire to be the bard.
Yep, and buffs mostly come from, other than Divine Favor, come from like Torindil casting stuff on the party, and of course the negative boons for stuff our adversaries have done to us at various points. And that's basically it for Rill. So
to the bird.
Let's go through the bird, yeah. So Elempilin is a giant owl ranger. Oracle animal companion. Basically, has full druid because of boon companion.
Correct for the time being.
And birds tend to have highest dex, and there it is. The bird's armor class actually rivals Torindil's.
Yep, very high dex, horrible constitution score. That's after leveling up and buffing the constitution. Elempilin manages to get it up to a 10.
Yeah.
That owl had not a whole lot going on. So, full disclosure, the way this DM runs animal companions is I do not let the player have full control. I ask them to handle their animal and issue a command to it, and then I will have it act accordingly. They don't get to move and position their animal, and it will, retreat from situations where it's hurt. If it's not being handled, it will act like an animal.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense. So,
yep. So that means the bird tries to fly above people instead of providing flanking. The bird tries to, not be in combat if it can, and the bird utilizes its speed to attack smaller foes where possible. With its bite and talons.
And you can see in the inventory tab, there's crossed out where you used to have holy water. The animal has the bombard trick, so dropping alchemical items on things is something that Rill can command Elempilin to do.
Sure. Something that's definitely very useful if you're, say, located on a flying castle and flying by enemies.
Yes. Well, we if you watch this, if you follow the channel, you know what happened in the Castle of Corellin. So, feats, light armor proficiency to allow that chain shirt, dodge, mobility, and flyby attack.
Now, I forgot that Elam had flyby attack. Oops.
Well, it probably just came up this last level, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's usable with the bombard. You see light armor proficiency there. That's like a feat tax on animal companions, but it's really good for them. It's good. It's good to have your buddy not die.
Yeah. And skills, animal intelligence means not a lot of ranks.
Right. It's got a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yep. So that concludes Ellen Peelin. So, so that is our character. That's our character spotlight for Rilyanasse, the Elven Ranger, and that's gonna be about it for us. So this is Renegade Paladin, Bosheck, and Leah signing off.
Later.